So in our last video, we went ahead and glued these legs up, and they're a rough glue up at this point. And what we need to do now is, these need to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And if we take a look, this right here should already be 1.5 inches because it was 3/4 plus 3/4. So it is. These over here should be 1 3/4 because that's what we ripped them at. Now, what we need to do in order to get these things ripped down to 1.5 inches this way is we need to clean up one of these sides with a glue scraper. Then we're going to joint it, and then we're going to go ahead and rip the other side down. So what we'll do here is we will pick our prettiest side or our closest side. I guess it's this one. I like to take a vise and put a piece of wood in it so I have a nice stopping area. And I definitely don't ever want to pull towards myself. So we'll come down here and scrape this glue. The reason why this glue here is not coming out is because this particular side of the board is higher. So this isn't going to come out. Put that there. If you want, we'll put an X on it. Put the X side down. We'll go ahead and do it. Take a look at this one over here. I'd say this side's cleaner. And I'll say this side's cleaner. So, I'm not going to do it all for you guys. Now we're going to go over to the joiner, and we're going to show you how to properly joint these things down. So we're over here at the joiner. We're going to go over a couple things. Generally speaking, we really don't like to joint anything that's lower than the height of the fence right here. And these are big time lower than the fence. In order to get these things good, we need to keep them tight to the back side of the fence and some pressure down. But since we're trying to true this up down here, there's a good possibility of this rocking. So it's kind of important to really keep it tight back on this side right here. And in order to do this, we're going to use kind of like a push stick and another push stick, and we'll be able to run it down through. It's a little bit tricky, but we'd rather have these things beat up than the other pieces. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I'm actually going to push it with this side. Now take a look at this. Can you see that in the view? Can we see that? Do you see how this is nice and trued up right here? So this is in great shape. I don't need to run this down through again. Okay, we're perfectly fine. We're on the same plane. So we're going to do this to the rest of these, and then the next time we cut into this video, we're going to show you how to rip them down. So we've successfully went ahead and ran these through the joiner on the one side. Notice there's no more X on this because the joiner took it off. We can easily distinguish the good true jointed side away from our still glued up side. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to set up this saw right here so that we can rip our legs down to the 1.5 inches. So I put this at 1.5 inches. I confirm that it's good. We're going to make sure that it's about 1/4 inch above the surface of this piece right here, and we're looking pretty good. I have this up right now for clarity, but when we go ahead and run these down through here, remember that we're going to want to hold our hands like this, with these fingers pushing in and this finger holding down and pushing through. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate here on this one with the guard up, and then we'll put the guard down later on after we're doing this video so you guys can see what's what. We have the push stick over here as well. And remember, when we do push our push stick through, we're going to go all the way up and out. We never come back because if we were to snag this thing, it's going to rip it out of our hands real easily. We're going to start up. beautiful piece. We have a little bit of a saw blade mark right here where I stopped and grabbed the push stick. That's fine, that will sand out. These will be tapered at some point too, so we could probably get that piece out with the taper. We're just gonna confirm, make sure that we're 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, all right? So it's in great shape, which is pretty easy to do. If we wanted to, would we take this, set this up over here, use a feather board to help hold it in? What's the benefit to using a feather board?
You don't have to put your hands there.
We don't have to put our hands there, do we? So we could also take this thing right here, put this right in. Remember, we never want to have our hands in the red area. Now for this section right here, since this is holding in, what we would do is we would use our thumb to hold it down. Remember, we push it all the way to here, and then we grab our push stick. You want to demonstrate? You want to try it?
Yeah.
Come on over. So listen, I'm going to put the guard down for you, okay? All right, you're going to hold that right there. Are you ready for me to turn on?
Yeah.
That there looks beautiful. I don't, maybe a smidgen of a saw mark right here. It's looking pretty darn good. Is it pretty easy to do?
Yeah.
It is very easy. You just have to keep your head in the game because we're taking a, rather large piece of wood and putting it down through here. That's all there is to it. Next time we come to this video here, we're going to go ahead and cut these things down to our final length. I think it's 25 1/4, but we'll confirm that when we get back here. So in the last section of this video, we went ahead and we ripped these things down to 1.5 inches. So right now these things are nice and true and square, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. And now we're going to cut them down to our final length. And I believe we cut these things at 26 inches in the beginning. And we're going to check. I believe the final length is supposed to be 25 1/4. So if we take a look, it calls for the legs to be 21 1/4 plus a 4-inch section. So it's 21 1/4 plus 4 is 25 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a stop at 25 1/4. So they're all the same length, and we're going to cut all 4 of ours one after the other. So we're not going to do one today, one tomorrow, all one right after the other. That way they have the best chance of being the same length in case somebody moves into it, bangs it, something like that. So here's how I like to set up a jig. This is not set up right now, it's set up at 26 inches. So what I like to do is I like to come over here and I like to bring my saw down and I like to square up this end here by taking a saw blade off. So we're now nice and trued up on this section over here. I then like to take my tape measure and my pencil, put at 25 1/4. I made a line. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the saw blade down. We're going to get lined up right where it needs to be. And once we're where we need to be, then I come over here and I set my stop up. Double check, make sure it's good. Sure is. We let this stop. We'll bring it up. Confirm that it's 25 1/4, which it is. We're in great shape. Why do we need to cut a piece off of one side and then move it down to the stop? Why do we need to cut it 2 times? Yes, got to true it up the first time. Why don't you go ahead and grab one right there? We'll have you do it in the video. And move this out of the way, put it right there.
Take off a saw blade.
Yeah. put it nice and tight against the back. On these here, I like to, let me see something real quick. I like to lay these down like this, to be honest with you. So hold that right there, and bring the blade down. And are we good? Yeah, that's gonna take off style. Lay nice and tight. Now hold on a sec. You didn't quite get it all the way. Now just go ahead and recut it. So it's just sitting off the back a smidgen, and we just move it right down. We don't want to move it around. We just move it right down, and we don't bang into our stock. We just carefully bring it up to our stock, and then we hold it with our right hand, and nice and slow with our left. Let it stop, and you'll do your other two, and you're in great shape. That's all there is to it.